anything at all.
Everything, right?
If you are an existing patient and would like to change or reschedule your appointment, press 1. If you are seeking mental health services or would like to make a referral, this call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance and training purposes.
Oh, you're gonna go play? Okay, here's your half an hour to play. Even though you know you've been goofing now.
Good morning, thank you for calling the Psychotherapy and Counseling Center. My name is Christina. How may I assist you?
Good morning. I just missed a call from my therapist, Dania Geronimo.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
January 26, 1982.
84?
82.
What was your last name again?
Ramazanova. Ramazanova.
Can I please send a brief hold while I transfer you over?
Sure. Oh, the forward switch.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi, Lona. It's Anya.
Hi. I'm sorry I missed your call. My phone was the ringer
Yeah,
was
no
off.
problem. Yeah. How are you? How did you manage to do what you needed to do last week? I know you said you were thirsty, so were you able to
What
accomplish?
exactly?
Oh, I don't know, because I know last week you said you was busy, so I figured you had some things
Oh,
to take care of. What to do.
yeah, I had some plans, and yeah, I took care of it. It wasn't like a big deal. It's just a personal plan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. So how was your weekend? How was your week overall?
It was all right. It's getting warm. Like Saturday was kind of rainy, but today's like really nice weather.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's getting
like,
warm. I haven't been
go
outside
out
today,
somewhere.
but it looks nice and sunny. It looks pretty good out. I like this weather though. I think I even prefer it compared to when it's like very hot outside. I like 60, high 60s, 75. That's like my ideal
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rain today? Oh my gosh, I'm just looking. I'm just looking and checking the weather. Apparently it's supposed to start raining at like 4 o'clock. I hope that's not the case. Yeah. So overall this week, did you manage to go out this week? I've been this whole weekend.
Yeah, it was raining towards the end of the week, but not anywhere special, just like around the neighborhood, you know, but we might go out today too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how are you otherwise? How's Patrick? How have you been feeling overall?
Well, I haven't been sleeping, and that's the truth. Like that great, you know. Um, yeah. And I've been like, you know, you know, dealing with life.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. You were talking about leaving and stuff.
Yeah.
How is that gonna go?
Yeah. So I'm really considering it. Actually, this weekend coming, I'm going back to Georgia to look at some apartments. So I scheduled, I think about 4 apartment tours. So I'm going back on, when do I leave? On Thursday to tour some apartments, and I might actually move if I find apartment that I really like. I've seen them online. I like the area, but I need to go and check it out for myself, you know, because I wouldn't be moving to the exact area that my sister lives in because it's a little too suburban for me. But I wouldn't be too far away. So I am considering it. I am really considering it. I haven't moved. I mean,
But there's
am not
like
moving
no
as of yet.
solid plans yet, because that's like confusing me right now. Where do I stand, like with this?
Oh, so
Because
I mean, the good thing is that I can work remote. I can work remote, so I can actually keep my
'cause
job.
I definitely wouldn't,
Yeah.
like, as uncomfortable as I feel talking to you, I definitely would not feel more comfortable talking to another therapist. I think I've let you know this. And
Yeah.
so I feel
I know
like
you told me the last time.
yeah.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. The good thing is, as long as my clients are here in New York City, then I can work from another state in the U.S. So I already had the conversation with my supervisor.
Are you
She
sure
did tell
that's
me
allowed? Like, as per NYPCC policy, like, you're allowed
Of
to
course,
work.
I spoke to I already had the conversation with my supervisor. So she just did tell me that
Something.
I have to update her if I do decide to move. So as long as my clients are here in New York, then I can work from another state in the U.S. So, but I cannot have clients in another state. They have to be here in New York City. So, but I can move. My clients have to, as long as my clients are in New York. As long as my job is in New York, my clients are in New York, I can work. So yeah. So I did look into that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a lot more comfortable moving, because I wouldn't have to look for a new job or anything else like that.
So you just
Imagine
mentioned
going
that,
to a new
like,
city.
that's not gonna affect, like, my situation at all, right?
Between me and you? No, it's fine. I keep my clients. There has been times that I have spoken to you, and not the last time we spoke, because I wasn't in
This is,
Georgia.
like, confusing me a bit, but okay.
What happened?
No, this is confusing me a
time-
bit, you know, so...
No,
No, you
not
go
be
ahead,
confused.
because
I
I
was
don't...
I was
I
just
don't know what's
giving
going
you,
on.
you know, just because we were talking about like New York City and everything else like that, so I brought up the topic. But there are clients that I haven't even told them, because it doesn't make a difference whether I'm in New York or another state, because I am going to keep my same caseload, you know. So the reason why I brought it up when we were speaking was because I think we were talking about life in New York City or something along those lines. And that's why I brought up the fact that I was actually thinking about relocating, because New York City is
Crazy.
way too congested. And
New York
yeah.
City is crazy. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's
Georgia's
the only
too rural.
so that's the only reason why I brought it up. But many of my clients, I haven't even told them, because they just didn't fit the conversation. You know, like because they are not going to be transferred to another therapist. So it really doesn't matter whether I'm working from New York or from any other New Jersey or any other state, you know?
Because I was
So,
going to say,
I
if you're going to leave me, can you help me get SSD? Because I feel like I could eat more. Is that like news to anyone that I feel like I could eat more? You know, like seriously. But
I mean,
I don't know,
Felix,
like if
I mean,
that's the
if
best
you want,
option
I can
either.
refer you to a case manager that does that kind of
No,
stuff.
that's
maybe
fine.
in
If
the
you're not
clinic.
going anywhere, I don't know. You know, I don't know what's best. Honestly, I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, like I'll go
Yeah.
for some takeout or
So-
something.
Yeah, but I am considering moving, and the only reason why I had mentioned that to you is because, because we are talking about New York City in general. But yeah, most of my clients, I'll say 90% of them do not even know that I'm moving because it's not going to impact them in any way possible. You know, I'm still going to be their therapist. It's not going to change. So. Yeah, but that's
Well,
You said what?
Well, that's good to hear that you can't just up and leave me and run off on me. I don't know. I'm laughing because I don't know. That's just silly, you know. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to leave me. I don't know.
I mean,
so
I'm actually
difficult.
looking forward to living somewhere else because my whole, since I was like 8 years old, I lived in New York City my whole life. And although I have a lot of complaints about New York, it's a comfortable city. Like, it's very accessible. You don't need a car here. And they have a lot of resources in New York, you don't need a car. It's very accessible. They have stores, they have bodegas, they have grocery stores.
Yeah,
That's not the case.
I was gonna say, like,
so-
half the reason that is crazy is because you got like my friend even wrote a poem about it, and it was like it's like really weird. It was like crystals or something. It was a crazy poem, but it felt like it came through the idea, or maybe I was misreading it or something. And it was about the social structures in New York, how like you have really poor people and they're like really next to like really rich people in like the politics of it, and how it's like a natural structure and you don't really see it like anywhere else. And I mean, like, I feel like these past like 10-20 years it's gotten shittier or whatever, but maybe it's just me, like there's some sort of disbalance that's like making me feel uncomfortable. I don't know. But he wrote a poem about it. He was like a really like a well-read like Puerto Rican dude, but he wasn't into like generic like like stuff. Like, I don't mean to like say like there's like a culture, but there is like a culture, like a race culture with Puerto Ricans too. So he even like wrote a poem about it, and that poem like stuck with me. And sometimes I think about it, like living here, how fucking intense it gets. And like I've been talking to you like how like I would want to leave maybe, but then I'm like, wait, but maybe I don't want to leave. Maybe I just want to change my my mode of being in this city. Maybe it's like my status is like if I evolve my status, I will be apt to deal with all the craziness. But right now the craziness feels like it's on top of me. I want to be like somewhere like in between, like the craziness where it's not affecting my health so much, but as it is, it's like way too stressful.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah, but definitely like, I don't know. I don't know what Georgia is at all. Like I've been to Jersey. I lived in Jersey a lot, and Jersey is really beautiful because it's kind of like upstate New York. There's some areas that are more populated, some areas less populated, but you need nature because otherwise, like the value, like the whole value of living on the coast and living in New York and New Jersey, like the real estate value is so high because we know that there's nature here, that people could just live off the earth here. That is true. There totally is. There's like hot springs and like wild animals, and you could go fishing. Like my friend, it's sad because like he works in like moving and stuff, and sometimes he gets hungry too, and he doesn't get food stamps, so he goes fishing for supplements.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people like
Mhm.
do want to live here and everything. But sometimes it's so crazy and it's so absurd because you think like, like we're so cultured and there's like intelligence here and everything like that. But some people live so broke here and they just spirit broken. I just don't want to be one of those people, and that scares me,
Yeah.
and it scares me like if my kids, fall into like the wrong things. Because a lot of people are like really dumb, and a lot of people are, you know, a lot of people like they don't even think about their actions. They think, oh, this is a crazy place. I'll do anything it takes to, survive, to have help my next of kin or my friends or whatnot, and then they're really like, hurting other people too. So it's very very hard to keep some sort of like emotional balance here, just for like the
Yeah.
average person, like because even like the average person sometimes you piss somebody off. People are so like the stress levels like through the roof, even
Yeah.
people that are like seemingly not like a threat or something, financially, like they piss people off too all the time. I see people picking on like homeless people and stuff. It's disgusting, and that's the balance that I'm talking about lately. I feel like
Yeah.
um you have like people like just picking on poor people more, and I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
And I know what it is
No,
too, like, and it's hard to like deal with it. I don't know politics, but I feel like I have to do something.
Mhm.
I don't know, like whatever.
Yeah.
I should be more like simple-minded, but I definitely do have like like all this comes through in like the regular stress issues, like like how do you like make sure like your family's healthy, like it sounds like I'm talking a lot of baloney just because I don't want to deal, you know, like I don't want to talk about like the daily, like how stressful it is daily with what actually goes on and stuff, but that's how it is, people are like rude too,
Mhm. That's true.
and I think it's
Yeah,
not just
New York
me.
City is.
I don't think it's just me,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
but sometimes
I
it
think
feels like,
New
oh
York
my
City
god,
is
it's
congested.
somebody please help me. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what it is, it's very very difficult to maintain law and order here,
Yeah.
because you want to maintain law and order, and you want to have all the things here that make life here special, all the social freedoms, for people to express their cultural differences, because you push it one way and then the other side kind of fails, like you can't have everybody like narrow-minded either, and like I feel like it was better in the
I
90s.
agree.
I'm sorry, I'm like giving you
No,
like a
no, go
load of
ahead.
crap right now. I don't know why. I felt compelled because you're telling me about Georgia, so I'm gonna, like,
Yeah. I mean, I think New York City is just so congested. There's so many people, so you are more likely to encounter rude people and people doing crazy things. Obviously, it's like our population was less dense. This is less people, then there's probably going to be less crime and less.
I want to check it out actually, what the population is now compared to what it was in the 90s, because I remember in the 90s it was just like there's like more like nightlife and stuff, and I don't know. I want to look into it because I don't think it's gotten that much more overpopulated, and I'm not sure about homeless people either, because now they talk about homeless people more than
Yeah.
like than before. Like all the homeless people were just like crazies, but now I guess like there's more like the people that they used to call crazy, they've become more acceptable. Like there's more of those people, so you can't just be very very harsh on them like they used to.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know.
Mhm.
Again, like I'm just telling you like how I feel about it. I feel like it was like a
Yeah.
little.
I mean, I think that overall, all cities have their issues. Like I think that all cities have their issues, but I think one of the main reasons why New York City is the way that it is, it's both a blessing and a curse having such an accessible city, right? Because anybody can hop on the train. Many people don't pay to get on the train or to get on the bus. Whenever I get on the bus, I am probably one of the only few people that actually pay. At least here in the Bronx. I don't know how it is in other boroughs, but so it's so easy to move from one place to the next, which is great because then you don't have to invest in a car. You don't have to, you could get pretty much anywhere without having to drive or anything else like that. But it also sucks because it gives people freedom to just go from one, borough to the next. It's just super congested and everybody wants to live in New York, well, New York City. So it's like, it sucks.
You know what?
But,
Can I add to
but,
that? I feel like people have been giving a lot more like services to like poor people and discounts and stuff since the 90s. But at the
yeah,
same time, they're for some reason a lot less accepting when those people take advantage of them. Like you get people being rude to you or like sneering at you or something like that. Whereas like in the 90s, like
yeah,
it wasn't like that. They would just like accept you for who you were wherever you went. Because I remember like
yeah,
me and like my friend, we would go to like the museum and we wouldn't pay for it, and nobody would like look at at us because it's like a donation, not like mandatory.
yeah, yeah.
And like when I go out with my kid, like there's so many rude people, like just like they're like pushing like with the elevator and ugh. And it's like they don't like want you there or something. I don't know. You might like interpret this and say, oh, it's her mindset. She just thinks that or something. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I don't know about that. Because
yeah,
could be me. Could be that it's you know I don't know. I don't even know
yeah.
what to say. Like I
Mhm.
like why
I
also
mean, New
like
York
I did
City
look at
has
the
its
statistic
pros
on
and
this.
cons.
Like people don't like take advantage of all this stuff either. Like you were telling me, like go out,
That's true.
go to the free concerts and stuff like that, and like not a lot of people go, um
Mhm.
you know
Yeah, yeah. That's true. I mean, I am fully aware that I will. New York City will always have my heart. Like, I love New York under the right circumstances. I think New York City is a great city. Like especially if you have the resources. One of the reasons why I'm moving is because, well, I'm thinking about moving, and most likely I'm going
Oh
to
wait,
move.
can I
Is
interrupt you? I
because,
was gonna say something about
sure.
cops too. Cops, since we're talking
Uh
about New
huh.
York, I remember cops were like, "Oh, scary," like back in the day, and now like everybody's just like pissing on them. Like I like
Mhm.
when I started to notice, they actually had like a newspaper article. It was like 5 or 6 years ago, and a
Yeah.
bunch of people just let out like a sprinkler system, like right on the police officers, and they
Mhm.
started throwing stuff at them or something, and they just had to ignore them because there was too many people. It's
Yeah.
there's like very few police officers, and there's so much more like
Yeah.
docile than they used to be. Like I even know that because
Mhm.
like when I talk to them, they're not
Mhm.
as like they're not looking at me like maybe it's like my age or my dress too, but they're not looking at me like, oh,
Mhm.
you freak, what do you want, like how dare you ask me for directions or something. And I feel like it's the truth. Like a lot of people like potheads too. Like I don't smoke, I swear to God. Like I
Mhm.
have not touched marijuana in years. um
Yeah.
like they're just like, oh, it's okay, we're not gonna get arrested. And before, like people would get arrested over like a nonsense thing, so like the police have like practically like no say in anything or whatever, and
Yeah, that is
sometimes
true.
that's good because you want people to feel free to socialize, but sometimes it's like, what if these like masses of people are like ignorant and assholes, like, because I know how easy it is to start up like a beef, like a real, like a riot, you know what if something like that happens, and I don't know, like, I'm scared of riots, I'm scared of people, because I know a lot of people, they're like me, they're people, they could fall for things that they have no idea about, and I don't know. This is, again, like, I don't know why I'm talking about
Yeah.
this one. I have like way more personal concerns. Like, why did I like pee last night 3 times?
No, but I know where you're coming from. I understand. No, but what I was gonna say is the reason why I'm really, really considering moving out of New York City right now is because the rent crisis is outrageous, and I've been wanting to move out of my apartment to my apartment isn't horrible. It's not
Is there a rent
bad.
crisis? I didn't know. I think they really, there's a rent crisis, because I was looking
Oh
at stuff and
yeah,
I'm like,
it's
what?
extremely high.
I mean, I'm not
It's
just like
extremely
saying that because
high.
like I'm so glad I'm not homeless, but I really,
Yeah.
I don't know, because none of my friends said this. I didn't see anything online. Like, it seems to me like it's the other way around. People just
Well, at least I
don't
mean,
really
if
want to live
for me,
here.
if I want to move somewhere where I feel like it's a bit more secure than where I'm living at, then it'll cost me a lot of money, you know. So, and it will be a lot more difficult for me. So, in Georgia, although rent is high in Georgia, it's a lot more affordable than New York City. New York City has the highest rent in the whole United States, and it probably in the whole world, actually one of the top, I think 5 or 10 highest rent in the entire world. So it's pretty expensive.
I
So
feel like it hasn't, though, because like I've been looking sometimes, just I'm a dreamer and I like to look, and the real estate has not
yeah,
gone up, the rent has not gone up, the food prices have gone down, like for going out and stuff. I feel like the problem is not this. People don't want to live here because somehow there's social manipulations prevent them from enjoying life here. It's some sort of like underworld business that's like
yeah,
killing this blessed reality of the face value is the rent is not that high. You
yeah,
can go out and eat food. People just don't want to do
yeah,
anything anymore, anything original here, or try anything, because um it's gotten really nasty. It's just, I don't even know how to express it, like, I don't know how to say it, without being totally rude and out of line. It's just gotten like nasty, like people have gotten nasty. And I also think, didn't they say that there's more middle class people living here now than there used to be, and yet, it's like not as cool, like
yeah,
like I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting
yeah.
older, so I don't know if there's like, you know, life here or something like that. But it just feels like,
I think it.
things are becoming like government owned, and that's what kills it.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, listen, I am New York City has been my city since I was 8 years old. So I've been here and overall, despite the fact
That's why
that
I'm saying I
you
don't
know,
see you moving, and I don't want to move either. I'm like ready for some sort of
yeah,
status change. Like, I don't see you moving, and
yeah. And I love New York. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not like New York City is so accessible. That's like, and there's always something to do. New York City is probably one of the, without looking at all the craziness, Like you can leave, your apartment and easily get to a park or get to a museum easily. Just public transportation to get anywhere that you want to go is so accessible. I can go downstairs and get me a slice of pizza, go to the bodega. Like, I love that, and I love the fact that New York City is so diverse and they have different foods, and it's kind of hard to find that anywhere else. So I'm not going to hate on New York. Of course, despite the fact that I have my complaints about New York, there's so much that I also love about New York, or else I would have probably
I
left
have
a long
one
time ago,
complaint. I have one complaint because you're sitting there and you're you, and I'm sitting here and I'm still me. Whatever you may think I am, I'm still me.
Yeah,
The
of
minimum
course.
wage, the minimum wage is the same almost.
Yeah.
It's gotten like $1 higher. So I don't know how this is working at all. How these people keep the city moving and keep everything functional. How the grocery stores work. How my pizza gets done. If these people are really making minimum wage, they're crazy. Like, where are they living? Because I can imagine, and these are like fresh-faced people that come in. They're sure fresh mouths sometimes, and you're sitting there thinking, well, if I imagine life like them, I wouldn't be so fresh faced. I'd be coming in there like rotten.
I mean,
And
New York City has one of the highest
What's
minimum
going
wages
on?
in the country. It's $15
That's
an hour, which is pretty good.
that's why I'm not moving to Georgia. I'm sorry, that's sad. I don't even.
Yeah, Georgia. I think minimum wage in Georgia is probably like I haven't checked. But I think it's probably $10 or less, So New York City has one of the, but the cost of living in New York is a lot higher too. So
Yeah,
New York City
right.
has yeah. So I mean there's a lot of like great things about New York. So so I think that New York City allows you to be independent, like, for example, my mom doesn't want to leave New York because she doesn't drive. I don't drive either, actually, but that's my goal, to get my driver's license, because I don't have a driver's license because I never needed one living in New York. But I need to get my driver's license. That's going to be my goal.
You don't drive.
But
I don't believe you.
But
I think
but
you
that's
drive.
one of the reasons my mom is like, I don't want to leave New York because I don't want to get a car and I want to be independent and I want to go wherever I want to go, however I want to go. And I completely get that. I completely understand that. You don't have to rely on a car.
Yeah, man, I feel for your mom
drop
too,
you
because
off.
that's how I feel. Like, I want to eat what I want to eat, and
Yeah. So that's the beauty.
because
of New York.
otherwise, like,
So,
how are you gonna function? If you got like.
Well, I'm gonna be what I do. So the reason why I'm moving, I'm going to be basically in the city of Georgia. So I'm gonna be in Atlanta. So while my sister is in the suburbs, but it's only like a 25-minute drive. So I realized that in order for me to move to Georgia, I needed a little bit of New York City. So the area that I'm looking at apartments in is walking distance to supermarkets and restaurants and everything else like that. So that's the only way that I'll be able to function in another state where I have the same accessibility. Maybe not as accessible as New York, because New York City is so accessible. But it has a little bit of that. Like, I can walk to the park. They have a few supermarkets, a few restaurants in the area that I'm thinking about relocating to. So that it's an easy transition for me, hopefully. So so that's how I am thinking about hopefully moving. So but I am looking forward to potentially exploring a new neighborhood, like doing something different, and I'm looking forward to that. So, I mean, if all else fails, I can come back to New York. I can always come back to New York City. So that's not, I just want to try, take a leap of faith and try something different. So yes, that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the plan for me for now. So but enough about me and my potential move. But overall, everything else is more or less okay with you.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I'm okay, but, you know, I could always eat more, you know, and,
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, like, I'm
I
okay
understand.
by the standard
Okay.
of what I've been like for the past 3 years, you know, so
Okay.
nothing's really
I
changed.
see. I understand that. Yeah. Alright, Lona. Well, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll get back to you next week.
Okay, take care.
Alright. Thank you. Bye bye.